it's Destiny, and today we're going to be discussing the latest news for 4.0 of Honkai Star Rail. And before we get into today's video, I would love to know if you're excited for anything in 4.0 and what would it be. Lastly, if you'd like to see more Star Rail content from me, consider subscribing to the channel, leave a like to support today's video, and now let's get straight into it. So today I wanted to share my thoughts on the latest reveals for 4.0 as well as just my excitement for 4.0 overall. And we are going to start off with the character reveals. So there were quite a lot of character reveals. They essentially showed us, from what it appears, the next few characters that will be releasing specifically for 4.0, more than likely 4.1, 4.2, and so on. So starting with the first character, it will be Yao Guang, which she more than likely will also be the very first banner of 4.0, and I personally really like her design. I feel like she is very, very pretty. I love the peacock themes of her design as well. Of course, we do know that she is confirmed to be an Elation character as well. And if I were to take a guess, I feel like more than likely a lot of these characters that are coming out are more than likely going to be Elation Path characters. Some of them may end up being different paths, of course, but I do think that from what we've seen so far, that a lot of these characters I'm about to show are more than likely going to be Elation. Overall though, for Yao Guang, I'm very excited for her. I think she's very pretty. I will be pulling her as I do want to check out the Elation Path, which I have seen some discuss Elation, their worries about it, or if they're actually excited for it. For me, I think a new path is cool, but one of the issues I would say with a new path coming out is the light cone accessibility. And what I mean by this is, for example, when Remembrance first came out, a lot of us didn't have a lot of options when it came to what light cones to use on the Remembrance characters. And of course, each Remembrance character also had a different kit from the other. So some Remembrance light cones would be more valuable for a specific Remembrance character depending on what their kit entailed. Now, in the case of Elation, if we get something similar where, let's say Yao Guang here does supportive roles or can even deal damage herself, whatever it may be, and maybe in the case of Sparxie, since we know that Sparxie is also going to be an Elation character, I have speculated that I personally believe she will be an Elation DPS character because of the planar set in the game. If they are playing different roles, even though they are both Elation, then they will want different things for their light cones. So because of that, that's where a light cone issue can potentially come up if there aren't very many accessible light cones for players to choose from. So I'm personally hoping that we do get some sort of event light cones, free light cones, her to shop light cones, MOC light cones, whatever it may be, to assist with building Yao Guang as well as assisting with building Sparxie. But overall, I would say that I'm pretty excited for 4.0. I've just been patiently waiting now for more news, so I can't wait to see what the live stream will show us as well. But I did just want to mention the light cone situation regarding that and how I can understand that that can definitely be a worry. So I'm personally hoping that we do get a nice free light cone in 4.0 or numerous free light cones, whatever it may be. So that is my personal hope. Next up, we have Blade, and oh my gosh, he looks so cool. I love this design for Blade. I think he looks incredible. Definitely want him as well. I feel like all of these characters, I'm going to end up wanting them because they just look so awesome. But in the case of Blade, really happy to see him get a new form here. And if Blade is Elation, then that'll be pretty interesting as well. I really wonder what they'll end up doing with his playstyle, if it'll be anything similar to his current playstyle, or if they're going to completely change it up with Blade here. I'd love to know if you all are excited for Blade, but let's look at the next character as well. And here we have what appears to be our Ie Sakura variant for Honkai Star Rail, which I am so excited. I love the ears. I love her design. She is just so freaking pretty. This is what I'm very excited for, and I would say out of all the characters that they've shown, I would say she's definitely up there for one of my top characters that I'm excited for. And I believe she is holding potentially a katana, but I just love the pink theme overall. The flowers colors as well in her design. She just looks so freaking pretty. So I'm very excited for her. And I would not be surprised if she was potentially like an anniversary unit just because of how popular she is in the other Hoyoverse games. Of course, when Acheron came out, a lot compared her to Raiden. So I wouldn't be surprised if our Ie Sakura variant here is potentially the anniversary character, which would mean I believe we would get the anniversary in 4.2. So maybe that's actually when she'll come out. That's just a speculation on my end, but it would be pretty cool to see. I would not be surprised if she as well was an Elation character. Of course, we'll just have to wait and see regarding what each character's path is, but I am just so freaking excited for her. Now we have Sparxie. We've already gone over her before. I think she's super cool. I also want to mention this now that I've seen her design more. She does kind of give me like an Alice in Wonderland type of vibe, so that also is pretty cute in my opinion. I really want them to make a 5-star Sampo though. I feel like a 5-star Sampo would literally be so cool, and it would also likely fit this theme very well too. So I'm hoping we eventually get a 5-star Sampo. I personally would love it. I know a lot have been also saying that they really want him, so we'll just have to wait and see regarding that. But Sparxie is super cute. I love the white hair. I love the design overall. It's very cute in my opinion. All right, now we have this character right here, which I don't believe we've ever seen this character before, and she looks so freaking cool. I would say she actually has one of my favorite designs by far. I just absolutely love the theme of her design from what they're going for. It appears that she may be an artist of some sort, and then if you take a look at her eye, it kind of reminds me as if she was part of a manga panel potentially. So I think that'd be really cool if they incorporate that into her design, but she definitely gives me the vibes that she is an artist, and I'm really excited to know more about this character right here. Based on her name though, I would actually be a little surprised if she was actually Elation and not Nihility just because of her name. Now we have Silverwolf. Oh my gosh, she looks so cute, and she has long hair from what it looks like. It looks like some of her hair is still up, but she also has some of her hair down as well. So it looks like her hair got a bit longer in this design. Her outfit does look pretty similar in my opinion, so I'm not too sure how much her outfit is changing with this new form here, but the hair definitely was something that stood out to me for sure. And I guess for the outfit, it's kind of hard to tell though. She isn't like front facing. For example, the way that Blade is facing more forward, you can like see his design a bit more clearly. But in the case of Silverwolf, it's kind of hard to tell where her design might be a bit different here. Really excited to find out what she is though. I absolutely love that we're getting a new Silverwolf, and she just looks so cool. It's also interesting that we're getting a new Silverwolf, we're getting a new Blade, so that makes me wonder, are we getting any more new versions of the Celeron Hunters, or will it primarily just be Silverwolf and Blade? Now we have what I believe is Ashveil, which, okay, this looks like Boot Hill to me. Boot Hill, but he became like super dapper looking in my opinion, and he looks so cool. I love this design. I think it is a very clean design in my opinion, and this definitely looks like Boot Hill to me. Some may think that it's not Boot Hill, potentially maybe a different person, but you all think this is Boot Hill because I personally think it is, and he looks absolutely incredible. And that's all of the characters they revealed. I would love to know which character you are the most excited for. If you're just gonna start saving now for these characters, I personally speculate, of course, though a lot of them will likely be Elation Path characters, but there's no guarantee that all of them are going to be Elation, but I wouldn't be surprised if a good chunk of them were. I'm also excited to know the characters that will come afterward as well, since based on how many characters they revealed, it would be 7 characters, so this might likely span for about 3 to 4 patches, I would say. Actually, it would span for 4 patches, since if it's 7 characters, let's say they did 2 characters per patch and then 1 character in 1 patch, then that would equate to all 7 of these characters here. So this will likely be our lineup for 4.0 through 4.3. 4.0, we're already getting Yao Guang and then Sparxie. 4.1, we're not too sure who we'll be getting, and then 4.2, 4.3 as well. It would more than likely be the rest of the characters here. So if you are excited for any of these characters, honestly, I would probably start saving now, especially since we will be having the live stream stream coming soon as well. I believe we should be getting the live stream in about 2 weeks. So I'll definitely be covering the news from the live stream and also my thoughts on the character kits like I usually do. And right before the live stream happens, we more than likely will also see which characters are coming in 4.1, which can definitely assist with potentially pulling plans if you're basing it off of which character design is your favorite. And yeah, so I'm really excited overall for 4.0. I know that we got the delay and a lot of people were really worried about how the quality of 4.0 might be, but I like to go into things just with an optimistic viewpoint. So I'm personally really excited. I cannot wait for the live stream because I want to see more of 4.0. I want to see the world, or also rather the planets. I want to see what they decided to do regarding that, and just the story as well. I'm very interested to see the direction they go with that. But yeah, I'd love to know all of your thoughts for 4.0. Are any of these characters you're interested in potentially pulling? And lastly, if you did enjoy today's video, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support today's video, and I hope to see you all next time. Peace.